Also out of Troy, a convicted baby killer could get his conviction tossed. Adrian Thomas found guilty in 2009 of murdering his 4-month-old son after throwing the infant down onto a bed. And now tonight, years later, a police tactic is being called into question, and it's landed in the Court of Appeals. Matt Markham is live outside the courthouse right now in Albany with more on that developing story. Matt?
Dory, some legal experts will tell you that deception is not only permissible, it's sometimes expected when police question a suspect in a crime. However, what this case is all about at this point is the limit and extent of how that questioning could have greater implications on a case like the case surrounding Adrian Thomas, who was found guilty in the death of his 4-month-old son Matthew in 2008. Throwing him on a bed. Thomas admitted that only after, according to the defense, he was coerced by the cops. Thomas's attorney in the state's highest court today took the position that a confession was the only way Thomas's son might live. Legal experts say any such confession is critical in a case like this, but judges now will decide if what he said was more important than why he said it.
Didn't they, in effect, tell him that his child, knowing his child was already dead, that he needed to confess to save the child's life?
That's probably the worst thing they said to him, Your Honor. That was a combined threat, deception, and promise.
What's okay and what's not okay in terms of deception when you're interrogating a defendant?
Deception is permissible so long as it does not overbear the subject's will as to whether he feels free to make a statement, and it is permissible so long as it doesn't create a substantial risk of a false confession.
What about?
And that is the position that the police are taking here, is that they got their answer from Mr. Thomas, and it did eventually lead to a murder conviction. But it could have a different story here as time goes by, depending on what the judges here at the Court of Appeals decide. They have a month to make that decision, and coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll have a little analysis from outside the courtroom on what this could mean for Mr. Thomas or for police departments anywhere in New York State. Reporting in Albany now, Matt Markham, CBS 6 News.